mythical morning, evening, afternoon. It's the Gorilla, and I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. You can check us out, roguenews.com. Follow us on Twitter, @RealRogueNews. Rogue News on every single goddamn freaking podcasting app known to humanity. And my main man, Gus Demas, is here. He's with PerpetualAssets.com. If you're tired and you're pissed off, and you don't want to have anything to do with this shit, and you want to take life into your own hands, go to PerpetualAssets.com. Talk to Gus, because he's just about as pissed off as I am, or his mild-mannered friend who's very nice and kind named Will Lear, and these guys will help you out. And with that being said, I got El Cuco working the airwaves. Where do you guys want to begin?
That's awesome.
You're fired, dude. You're on fire today.
I can't. Can we officially kick the whole QAnon thing to the curb now? Can we do it? I've been agnostic about this, and maybe because Gus, I'm such a at my core, I'm such a softie. I'm still holding out for a hope of hope beyond hope. I mean, cue the music from what's it called from Rocky, whatever, the Burning Heart. That's what it is. The Survivor, the Burning Heart.
Yes,
Cue that music, right?
Part four.
Yeah. My whole thing is this, man. CJ, what did? Go ahead, play this, Siege.
Commissioned by. So reports coming in tonight that the unmasking probe commissioned by Attorney General William Barr has come to an end and that it has resulted in no criminal charges. Barr had appointed a federal prosecutor to review whether Obama-era officials improperly requested the identities of people whose names were redacted in intelligence documents, but the prosecutor found no substantive wrongdoing. Correspondent Jillian Turner has this breaking story for us tonight. Jillian, good evening.
Martha, good evening to you, too. This story is still developing as we speak at this moment. The federal prosecutor tapped by Attorney General William Barr to look into this probe has reportedly closed up shop. He is no longer working on the investigation. What he had been looking at was the Obama administration's intelligence community and what is known as the process of unmasking. Now, Attorney John Bash departed the Justice Department last week, and with him goes the prospect of any type of explosive report or criminal prosecution of Obama-era officials. Senior Trump officials, including the president himself, have claimed that the Obama team mismanaged the process of unmasking, also known as requesting the identities of individuals whose names and identities are redacted in intelligence documents. Now, I'm going to read you the list of officials who...
You could stop, dude. Nothing's happening. You could stop it there. So
done. And then they're saying the Durham thing. They don't expect anything from that either.
Yeah. So I've never had confidence in it, nor have I ever went down the rabbit hole. But here was my problem with it all along. The last year, actually, forget the last year. Last 3 years. I only disagree with one thing, one facet of what all those people that follow that shit disagree with. There's only one facet. Overall, I think it's good. Go down the rabbit hole, blah, blah, blah. Here's where it's bad. Here's the one facet I disagree with all the trust the plan, the cubicle, all that bullshit, is no one's coming to save you, dude.
Yep.
I've said it for the longest time. It's just lazy thinking. So instead of getting involved, instead of allocating your capital, instead of getting involved in your local city council shit, instead of getting in people's faces, voting for local elections, getting vocal about your school boards, instead of actually getting off your fucking ass and doing something, you sit on your fucking computer at 3 a.m. going down a rabbit hole of, oh, thank God someone's coming to save us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always been lazy thinking.
Look at the dress that Melania was wearing. It matches her shoes. It signals something. And
it's just lazy, dude.
It's ridiculous, dude. It's like I've been agnostic towards it. I've been like, okay, let's see what happens. Trust the plan. Bill Barr. The Durham report is they're coming out already. And like you said, Gus, they're just running out the clock. And the Durham report is, they're not going to have any real anything coming out of that either. Nobody's getting arrested. Period.
I don't have anything incredibly harsh to say about it all, because so someone who wasn't on quote unquote our side or sees the world the way we see it, if it happened to open people's eyes to it, great, fantastic.
Right.
What I don't like is people who are just, all talk and bullshit. Yeah. Meaning dude, get off your fucking ass and do something. Like, I've been training in the fucking desert with crazy people for 3 months. Like, get off your fucking ass and do something.
You
Like,
should post those pictures, man.
Like,
I mean, Gus sent us all the pics of him John Wicking it in the desert with a bunch of SWAT team guys and spec ops guys and veterans.
Well, I mean, do something. Like, get in your city council's face, get in your school. You know, we've been talking about it ad nauseum. Do something. Get off your fucking ass. Like,
this did it for me.
Yeah, well, someone coming to save us, and like, dude, what are you, a fucking toddler? Like, is the Easter Bunny coming next week too? Like, get off your fucking ass and do something.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to. This isn't even hyperbolic. It's like, dude, we're in a fucking war, and we're in a fucking war. So you could cross your fingers and thinking, you know, the good guys or whatever the fuck they say are coming to say. It's not happening. Like, we are the good guys. You know, we are. If this thing's gonna flip or go our way, it's gonna be because of us, all of us. Like, not just
here's the problem. Okay, like here's the most recent X-22 report, and this was just released a day ago, right? Okay, so look at this thing. This thing has 200, almost nearly 200.
Full disclosure, CJ. I like Dave. I have nothing against Dave.
218,000 views. Okay. So that's 218,000 people, 23,000 likes of people who are idly just sitting by on the sidelines. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, and you can not have that, and it's really like, it's upsetting to me because like how many years did I listen to Dave and to Sean, and I still like them as people in general, but at some point they're going to have to come to reality, and I'd rather them at this point to say, hey, you know what, we were wrong. We were wrong.
It's not even about, like I said, the reason I'm not harsh about it is because 95% of what's coming out of them is good stuff.
It's good. Yeah, they're finally waking up to something that we've been sitting on top of for the last several decades.
Well, listen for just 1 minute. Just listen for 1 minute. Okay, here we go. Let's play this for 1 minute.
Let's get into the economic collapse, political and geopolitical news. Now, Trump, the Patriots, they've been signaling that they're preparing and ready to move forward. Trump has already said that we caught the deep state red-handed. We have it all. He's instructed the different agencies to declassify information, completely unredact the information. And it's very interesting that he told all the agencies to do this at this specific time. Why did he wait for October? There's a reason for that. Optics are very important. Plus, those individuals that do not follow the direct order of the president, how easy is it to figure out who is the swamp and who is not?
It's like duh.
Well, I mean, Barr's been the swamp since he was working for George H.W. Bush in the CIA.
Yeah.
George H.W. Bush was Barr's personal handler. He groomed Barr, and this is the thing that people need to understand. You cannot fix Washington, D.C. because it's already fixed. It's already fixed. And that's what, W had this conversation with me before. It's already fixed. You can't fix it.
Here's the issue. So instead of sitting in your homes, crossing your fingers, hoping that, Delta Force of the unit is going to come in and start, fucking taking care of business. It's not happening.
I think they're going to come in through my window and take me out, bro. The way things are going.
Well, it's not fucking happening. So it's not about coming down on the good guys. There's a plan. There's no fucking plan, dude. We're in a Bolshevik fucking revolution and a war. And the plan is we got to win. That's the fucking plan. So the message, I don't come down on anyone for I went down that rabbit hole and I believe in this QAnon stuff and blah, blah, blah. My argument has always been it's just lazy thinking, dude. It's the good guy. Okay, I'll just go back to bed and everything will be fine when I wake up. That's not the way the fucking world works. It's my issue has always been that it's always bad to explain away something that's obvious. And what's obvious is that the bureaucracy, both on the federal level and on the state, depending where you live, the geography. And I named my avatar balkanization. They are in cahoots There is a plan, but it's not a Republican plan. It's a Democratic plan. The other side has the plan. We do not.
Gus, I've come. This is Gus and CJ. I've come to the ultimate revelation last night when my wife showed me this whole entire bar thing, and I quietly, biting my tongue, went upstairs to go smack my head against the wall several times. I've decided, guys, I'm officially going to register as a Democrat. Because you can literally get away with murder. Literally get away. I can do whatever the hell I want. Dude, I can be a Democrat and do what thou wilt. I can riot. I can loot. I can like drug people and kill them, and I can do all sorts of shit. I can fraud. I can do all of it. I won't go to jail.
Well, the only problem is you'll have some purple-haired beaver bumper barking orders at you. You have to. It comes.
No. I'm a protected. I'm a brown man, bro. I'm protected.
I don't know if that's enough. You still have testicles. You might have to go.
I'll tell them I've cashed that I'm transitioning. I'm a brown female transitioning into a brown man.
Now you sound like a Democrat. You sound like a Democrat. Yeah.
So I could do whatever I want at that point. I'm free.
You have to play the loophole. So you can say,
screw this conservative libertarian thing.
Yeah,
doesn't get me anywhere.
Well, here's the thing, Gus, and I understand what you're saying, that like a lot of people were exposed to a lot of things, and Trump has everything from, the media, how corrupt the media is, the federal government. He's exposed a lot of that. So I'm thankful. The challenge becomes is that at this point it becomes really more of a disinformation campaign, and that's not what we need right now. We need people like Dave. We need people like Sean, especially with the massive audience that they have. We need them to come to our side and begin to say, hey, you know what? We fucked up. We were wrong this time, and we need to start making preparation. We're going to need those people.
Yeah, we need to prep,
past November. We're going to need those people to align and say, hey, it's time. The gloves are off, and they should have been off a long time ago. So I'm not even mad at them. I just think at this point they just need to come to a conclusion and start shedding some accuracy and reporting to their mass audience to prepare for this. Because, again, leading into this, I mean, my gosh, we can no longer make excuses. And Gus, you sent one in regards to the economy, and look what's happening at the economy because of this entire, COVID perfect cover for the economic reset that we're currently navigating through.
It's over. When the casinos in Vegas basically announced that they're only open half the week, it's over. Like
pull up that article with the win, Gus, that you shared.
The screenshot. It basically they're so
it's crazy.
Yeah,
ahead,
they're only open half the week now. So so think about it. We have the highest.
Wait, Gus. Wait a minute. So I check in Wednesday and I gotta leave by Sunday.
Well, you check in Thursday.
Thursday, and I gotta leave by Sunday.
Yeah, and the issue is you get right when you check in. So the Win has basically amped up all their metal. Win has basically gone full TSA. Like, so getting into the Win now is like checking into an airport, like detectors, scan. Dude, they've literally hired special ops guys, like retired special ops guys. So, dude, Vegas has become Detroit. Like, so there's a shooting every 48 hours. It's the highest unemployment in the country, shooting every 48 hours, and the casinos are like now part-time.
That's the rest of the country.
And the casinos treat you like shit. It's fucking madness, dude. I think this city, I was going to wait till after the election to make a decision. I think it's fucking dead. I think it's over, at least for 5 years or something. Like it's not coming back. It's bad. It's all bad. Any way you slice it, it's all bad. You have liberals out here literally trying to rationalize the shooting every 48 hours. Like there's literally a shooting, and I'm not talking about in the ghetto. I'm talking about like on the strip. There's a shooting on the strip every. I think there's been 15 now in the last 30 days. Like it's fucking. Yeah, dude. It's the Wild West. Like it's fucking madness. So. It's bad. There is no one coming to save
Gus, Jay Martin wants to know: are the hookers now part-time in Vegas.
No, that's the only good news is everyone is so broke that they're handing out fucking blowjobs for $20. But
It's a supply demand thing, Gus.
Exactly,
it's a supply demand.
exactly.
That's a free market. God bless the free market.
Bro, like I said,
Oh my
the
God.
country, even if Trump wins, okay, let's say Trump
which
wins,
he will,
and Republicans retain the Senate. They're going to tie this thing up in the court. There's going to be more rioting and looting. And the Fed, when I hear them, you guys have heard me, both of you have heard me the last 6 months talking about jurisdictions, DAs, prosecutors, mayors. Trump doesn't control these people. So even if Trump wins and the rioting and looting starts for another 30 days, 60 days, 90 days after the election, you're still going to have some tough, if you live under their rule, under a governor or a mayor or prosecutors who are Democrats, you're going to have a hard time defending yourself. They'll pull a Rittenhouse on you or whatever. So that goes back to my point. We are in a fucking war. Like I don't know what people don't want to accept about it. Like it's bad. It's real bad. And there's no one magical person, or even if we win the feds, even if Republicans sweep the House. And
it's still going to be chaos. They're going to unleash chaos. And it's going to be chaos for the next 4 years. And what these assholes don't realize,
they control. There's no way to slice it. They control the cities. Okay, so if you live, what is it? 27 out of the 30 largest in the country. Democrats control the cities, and they've showed their fucking cards the last 6 months. They will enslave you. They will allow rioting and looting. They won't let you go to church. They'll arrest. If you live under Democratic rule, you're in a bad place. There's no other way to slice it. They side with the fucking terrorists. They side with the fucking pieces of shit. So there's no one coming to save you. Even if the Republicans sweep on the federal side, I'm talking, they take the House, they take the Senate, Trump gets reelected, you still are going to have problems based on your geography. You're under the mayors, the prosecutors. Those are going to be your headaches and your problems. Depending where you live.
Yeah, perfect. And to back that up, Gus, I mean, like even in Indiana, which is a conservative state, if you look at Marion County, which is the largest, it's in Indianapolis, which is the capital. This year alone, they have set a record amount of homicides for the city, and we're only in October, so they've already surpassed that. They're going to clip it in. Their answer to this, and I listened to this meeting that they had yesterday, talking about what they're going to do and working with community leaders. Their answer to it is social justice, and
oh God,
their answer to it is that is equality, and that has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with the equality for what, to go out and rape and kill and so forth. There's so much broke with that.
Pillaging under the law, CJ. Equal pillaging under the law, unless of course you're white, then you can't pillage.
Well, and again, I think that
you have to be pillaged. If you're white, you have to be pillaged. That's social justice.
Losing faith that like all these
crazy
virtue signaling that's occurring, that because of what is not truly a white privilege, you want to make yourself feel better by applauding these efforts. In reality, they have no idea, no clue how to even fix a problem, and it goes nationally too. I've really lost a lot of faith in our elected.
Bro, criminal, listen, all people, but especially communist revolutionaries and criminals, they will continue to do something until I've said it before, they're like toddlers. They're out of control toddlers who keep taking cookies and no one's doing anything about it, or they're protected. So, me and V talk about it all the time. V's like, they understand violence. They understand violence. They don't understand violence. They're just not being thrown in jail or killed for it. Like that's why they're getting away with it, and we're being prosecuted for it. That's what's going on right now. So believe me, if the entire government collapsed, state, local, city, Republicans would wipe out Democrats in about 30 minutes. Like I'm probably good to take out 200 of them. So, but the problem is we play by the rules because we have shit to lose. Yeah, I've said it's the rules of engagement. So our rules of engagement right now, my rules of engagement, people's rules of engagement are self-defense. And you also want to have it documented. So I want it on video. Like this guy came at me with a bat or a gun, and that's why I had to do what I had to do. It's all about a jury trial and self-defense at this point. Those are our rules of engagement. Their rules of engagement are we're going to do whatever the fuck we want. And we know the prosecutor and mayor will let us get away with it. So it's not even about being white. Dude, if a Hispanic woman was in her car and
Yeah.
Antifa came up, they would pull her the fuck out and beat her to death. Like they don't give
Of
a
course,
fuck.
of course. They don't care.
Yeah, they only care that you're one of them. Like, and you see it when they go up into restaurants.
Yeah.
Like raise your fist in the air or kneel or whatever. It's like they're literally like they're a Superman 2 villain. They're Zod. It's like kneel before. Hey,
Gus. So Danny Ever on the live chat has just named you. He just named you the coolest name ever. You are now forever known as Gus Wick.
I need to grow my hair out. That's the way I see the battlefield or the chessboard, meaning that this is why they do what they do. This is how we're reacting to it, and that's why I see the only solution being balkanization. Like everyone's going to go off to their own pockets or whatever, and because that's where it's not even about the laws in that place. It's about who runs the governance in that local area, in that city, in that the prosecutor, the governor, the mayor, etc. Go down the list, because if push comes to shove, they will either allow the police to do their job or they'll allow you to defend yourself. And that's the way I think it's going to play out. And
I think there's one other there. I think there is one other play here that we should start having the conversation. And I'm not an expert, and I do have friends that follow and are really tied in. But one could argue, and I thought about this a lot at the gym today, and I think this has been established for many, many years. But I think that one could argue that the federal government in itself as an entity is no longer a facet of America, the Republic. They now have ownerships of the Fed, the financial institution, that they are a private entity. The federal government itself is a private entity of the banks and the corporations and the Federal Reserve. I don't think that the federal government reflects. And so the only way to really push that issue, regardless of who's in office, including Trump, would be to take a look at Article 5 of the Constitution. And Article 5 of the Constitution states that if states believe that that the federal government needs to be kept in check, either financially or laws, regulations, that we could have a convention of states, and the convention of states would allow the states to come together and basically.
You're right, but that's a very big fish to fry. You're asking an entity that could be defined as numerous things to give up its own power.
Yes,
entities aren't in the business of giving up their. That's why when Trump for all these years been saying drain the swamp, it's like, dude,
it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen because dude. He had a hard time even getting them to stop doing the SJW bullshit with the whatever the
critical race theory.
Yeah, exactly. Like a few of the agencies told him to go fuck himself. Like that's the level you're dealing with. Like the bureaucracy is so large and so cancerous, and so
the convention of states would allow, like, if your California leaning states, the states that we talked about at some point, the United States really needing to dissolve into something different, just because we are so at tour between our beliefs in terms of what we think, is that this would allow people to decide. And if these states say, hey, you know what, we're a constitutional state, we're going to adhere to the Constitution and follow it, then people will move. We're already seeing that.
That is indeed quasi what I'm already talking about with the balkanization, meaning that. Yep. So if you view the world the way liberals do, which they're right about this, is they already stick to their own. There aren't many. You notice they're hunkered down in all these cities because they're protected by their own. They're politicians, whatever. They're not. People aren't leaving San Francisco to go to Montana. The crazy broke SJWs aren't anyway. They're like, we've almost created two countries already. And when you think about all the jurisdictions of people lined up against you, if you're in a friendly libertarian or Republican place, then at least you only have to worry about the feds. Like the feds, and we have to we've done this as a company for forever. Like, we know we have to deal with state jurisdictions and federal jurisdictions. The feds could get you no matter where you are in the country. So you want to make sure you play by the federal rules. But expecting the feds to give up power, it's like, dude, you still, oh God, I'm going to go backwards a little bit. And this ties into the whole Q thing. You still have Chris Wray trying to make us believe that like the biggest problem is the Klan or something. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
There's like 7 of them in the country, literally. Like, why we've? I mean, seriously. Like, they still want you to believe Hitler's hiding under our beds.
Exactly.
When you've seen communist revolutionaries burning the country down for literally
over $1 billion, over 1.5 billion in damages.
Are we on 120 days yet? Are we at 4 months officially? Like right around there. But they want us to ignore our own eyes. So expecting the FBI, the CIA, the Treasury Department, the IRS, expecting these entities to give up power is asking a lot. CJ, if you think the states can get together and force it, maybe. I mean, constitutionally that's the case, but I mean, isn't that the way amendments are even done? And
again, I'm not a subject matter at all in regards to the Constitution, the Convention of States. However, I do see some people that are actively participating in this conversation, and this has been years, not just in the making because of the last 2 years. This has been, the last decade that people have been feeling that the federal government in itself, and I've reached that point as well, just in terms of looking at the federal government in itself, that it's insolvent. There's, whether left or right in this paradigm, it doesn't reflect the individual, and they don't honor the Constitution. There's separate laws and rules and regulations, and I guarantee if push came to shove, that the state said, "Hey, we're going to do this because the federal government has not been kept in check. Look how massive it is and everything." I guarantee you that we would see not only local, military, but also more of a national level, that the military would support the states' rights to do this. So the federal government itself, in terms of the DNC and everything else like that, they really don't scare me a whole lot, because I'm fairly confident that local police force, military, people who support and believe in the Constitution, it really wouldn't be that much of a fight at all.
Depending where you live, right? So you could trust those people depending where you live.
But those states would get their rights. Those states that want to separate, that want their own constitution, they want all these equality programs, they want all this stuff. Okay, well, great. Here you go. You get it. You go and operate under your constitution, and that people aren't happy in those states anymore. I mean, it's already happened. You see the migration that's occurring right now because of COVID. Let's just finish the process and, really look at a different way for the next 10, 25 years of the way the Republic will operate.
Well, again, the Republic is 2 factions right now. That's the issue. So what you're saying everyone would agree on, or the majority of states would agree on, where if you look at what the Democrats are saying, they're already wargaming succession. So again, you're saying something that I could agree with. The problem is, I think the election's going to end up in courts for months. And if you really want to be a little not freaked out, like the way these people are looking at taking this, go look at the war game they played out. And this is like Podesta, down in Brazil. This is not theoretical shit. This is shit they openly. It was even public. One of them someone even published it. Like, oh yeah, and then we'll have California, Washington, and Oregon secede from the Union. It's like, dude, they're literally talking about like, this is fucking madness. So I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the level. I don't know the level of lunacy in which these people are willing to take it. I've often been convinced that the war is really not with Antifa or BLM or these losers in the streets. The war is with the power structure of the media and Democratic Party. So let's forget about the Q shit for a minute, right? If Trump and the feds, quote unquote, if there were good guys, what they would really do is arrest a few governors, mayors, prosecutors, and a few media heads. Like that. This would end the next fucking day.
It would. So it's very easy, actually.
All the lockdowns, all the rioting and looting. If a SWAT team of feds kick down Ted Wheeler's fucking door tomorrow and put him in fucking handcuffs, then or Jenny Durkin in Seattle, like
for dereliction of duty.
Yeah, if those people started getting arrested, this shit would end the next day. Yeah. Because they're doing it. They are we're always bitching, myself included, dude. I see all these fucking losers, and I'm like, God damn it, you get pissed. But they're not the problem. The problem are the people who are letting them get away with it. So forget about the prosecutions and the Durham probe and all that. The real problem right now is the mayors, prosecutors, governors are doing literally whatever the fuck they want with total immunity.
Well, and I agree, but I think I look at it just a little bit differently because I really think that to counter that is where the people of the state need to become involved, and I'm always very cautious in regards to precedent and what precedent states.
I agree with you to the effect I've been saying for a while. Like, I'm going to make my decision on leaving Nevada depending what I see the voters do at the election. So that'll tell me, have all the Tijuana welfare queens and LA transplants sacked this state so bad that everything I've talked about, high unemployment, shooting every 48 hours, all this shit, has Nevada become California Junior? Like, is it over?
Oh, it's going to
like, well, if it is, then I'm leaving, and I'm leaving because you're right. The people of the state decide. I'm like, and this state is gone. They're not only have they been enslaved, endangered, all that, but the fucking retards are voting for more of it. So
of course.
I'm not with you anymore. Goodbye. Take care. All the best. Like, so yeah, dude, I vote with my money. I vote with my feet. Like, so I agree with you. But on the federal side, the feds could put a stop to it, dude.
Yeah. So I agree the feds could, but let's play this out. So let's say, for example, that there's a state that bans all guns and says, you know what, we've decided as a state we're no longer going to allow any type of weapons, nothing at all. And let's say within that state that there's an uprising of patriots, of people who believe in the Second Amendment. And then there's a different administration that comes in and says, well, that state passed it. So, and if the state passed it, it's the will of the people. So therefore the feds come in and squash. It works both ways. It works both ways.
You guys are missing the biggest glaring thing that you guys are talking about in your plan. Okay, this whole state stuff. Let me show you how one foul swoop that whole thing gets dismantled. Oh yes, I want to read this email. This is a smoking gun email leaked. And guys, it's not from me. I swear, I did not email Hunter Biden, even though it says Best V. It's not me. It's not me. It's some guy named Vadim. Okay, dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to DC and giving me an opportunity to meet your father and spend time together. It's really an honor and a pleasure. As we spoke yesterday evening, would be great to meet today for quick coffee. What do you think? I could come to your office somewhere around noon or so before or on my way to airport. Best V. Vadim, not V the gorilla. But anyway, again, more smoking gun evidence. What's Bauer doing with this? Nothing. Now back to the plan, right? Let me stop sharing the screen. Look, Trump's going to sweep. He's going to win presidency. The Republicans have a great chance of holding on to the Senate. They do. They still do. But after the second term is over, you better bet your cojones that there is a super possibility of a blue wave. And when the Democrats get in and then they take the presidency and they take the Senate and they pack the courts and they pack the Supreme Court, the little independent state thing, bye-bye. Because what will happen is they will declare martial law. They will try to reinstitute, to get the military to go along, whichever branch of the military is going to go along to get along. And those that don't, they're going to call in for the UN and NATO to come on in. So you're going to have UN and NATO troops. At that point, my friends, you have all out civil war. That's the only thing. Unless, of course, the entire population of America has been cucked and we go along with it.
Gus?
Sorry, I was putting water in my coffee pot. Here's where I slightly disconnect from you, CJ. What is happening in some of these states and cities, people never voted on. So you voting on a mayor or a governor does not give that governor. These aren't laws that these governors and mayors are doing. They're edicts. They're executive. So at what point? So you want to let states mind their own business and govern themselves. The problem is, at what point do we accept that the current person running the state, the executive of that state, has turned into a total insane dictator? Like, do we really have to wait? Does Cuomo have to start putting people in ovens? Like, before we're like, oh, maybe we should arrest him. Like, it's like,
you know, the worst part is for New York governor-in-law, right? If you're a governor in New York, you know how many times you get reelected?
Is it forever? Infinity?
It's forever.
Oh,
It's it's
there's no
perpetual.
term. Yeah, there's no term limits.
There's no term limits.
Well, if that happens, I mean, just like if a country does that, someone becomes a political refugee, right? They leave that area. I just think it boils down to the people that reside in that state to force that change. And
bro, the whole reason for the existence of a federal government is to enforce the Bill of Rights and Constitution. So
Correct.
a governor does not have the right to. The feds have the right to come in to a state when a governor is going against the Bill of Rights. That's the whole reason we have a federal government. That's literally the whole reason it's there. The feds watch the states, and the states keep the feds in check. That's theoretically what the founders had in mind.
How it's supposed to work.
If fucking Gavin or Como literally like, you know what, freedom of speech is bullshit, I'm taking it away, the feds have the right to come in. That's the whole fucking job. Like if they're not gonna protect First Amendment, Second Amendment, why the fuck do I need them? Just to tax me every year? Like, so that's the whole reason they're there. So I get it. You want to let states handle their own business, but like I said,
well, even the mask mandate is unconstitutional, right?
Well, Barr is all talk. The problem is Barr says a lot of the right things. At one of his conferences, he's like, "Yeah, this lockdown bullshit and mask bullshit is the biggest assault to civil liberties since the Civil War." Like it's
right. So we've already fallen victim to it, like on mass level. So like for
85%.
Example.
Good.
No, I was just gonna say, in our state, for example, where we had a tyrant, a Republican governor, by the way, who did not call a legislative session like he should have. He really should have said, "Hey, we need to bring the legislatures in. I've really extended the limited powers that were granted me for these mandates. What do? We're voting him out. We are going to remove him from office." And it's the people,
bro. On that we agree. Like I said, I vote with my. I voted. I'm gonna and I'll vote with my feet if it doesn't go my way. I'll leave. Like and on that we agree. If my only disagreement is we shouldn't have had to wait till the election. The feds should have squashed this shit in April or May. Like we're way past it now. Like, oh, we're 3 weeks from the election. Motherfuckers, where have you been? Like it's
right.
The shit. Like what the fuck? Like they're rounding up fucking Jews in New York. Like
yeah, I know. I mean,
like, well, is this where we're at now?
Dude. This is where we're at.
I know, like, and no one like, dude, they're rounding up fucking Jews. Like, I don't know what else you need to see. So yeah, we'll vote them out. We'll vote them out. It's like, dude, they should have stepped in fucking April. Like, this is ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. But again, we're following these rules. We're all law-abiding citizens. So if the voters of my state, for example, if they don't see things the way I see them, fuck off. Good luck with your bullshit. Good luck with your new commie utopia, cocksuckers.
And then where to run, man?
Well,
we're running out of spots.
Yeah, and whatever happens with this election cycle, I think that we need to begin the process now of identifying a candidate, identifying a person who we want to support, who we want to get behind as far as a federal president. I truly think that process starts now of establishing, who is going to that be, and then let's build the momentum behind that person to share their ideas, to get people to whether it's a third party candidate or someone that's going to share the ideas of liberty, freedom. Let's begin that process now. Because again, I'm not sure what's going to happen with the election cycle. I don't think at all that it's going to be a landslide. I truly don't. There's going to be some surprises out there. So let's not wait. Let's begin that process now versus thinking that Trump is going to correct things in the 4 years if he is reelected. Let's start looking at the process now to identify who is that candidate going to be, the president, vice president. Let's build the momentum behind them. So that way we can, if we are going to restore the republic or at least keep it or get it back to a resemblance of what was America, we can identify that now versus later. That there's no more time for waiting. The time for waiting is over.
So, and if you really want to see how bad here, the whole the Michigan governor kidnapping thing's a perfect example. If you really want to see how bad the bureaucracy in Washington is, instead of them going after these prosecutors and mayors and governors, instead of them actually doing their fucking job and protecting us from these tyrants, What are they doing? They're committing entrapment and setting up sting operations for like. So it just got released like yesterday or 2 days ago.
I saw that.
The ringleader of the whole Michigan plot to kidnap the governor. The ringleader,
stupid.
No, the guy in charge of the thing was a Fed.
Yeah, he was. It's crazy.
They're not protecting us. They're protecting the fucking governors and the prosecutors and mayors. Like that's what. If you really want to see how spit in the face of the whole Q shit, it's like, dude, they're not protecting us. They're protecting the tyrants. That's how fucking nuts it is.
That's why I think the 186,000 sealed indictments are us. I'm sure there's a V, a CJ, and a Gus team that's on there. It's everybody that's in alt media and everybody, the listeners who follow and disseminate this information.
That whole story stunk to high heaven the moment that it even came out. Like it was so far off that the 7 militia were going to kidnap.
Well, it's the Chicago 7 all over again. It's the Chicago 7. It's the Newburgh 4. Well, it's the same federal playbook.
Well, I sent you guys that video from the movie Ruthless People from the 80s with Bette Midler and Danny DeVito. And,
CJ, could you play that clip?
Dude, the minute I saw this story, I'm like, who on earth would want to kidnap that cunt? Like that's she'd be.
We're going to take her to Wisconsin to have a private trial.
I wouldn't want to be in a fucking room with that bitch for 45 seconds. Like that's do you know who I am?
Do you know? That's exactly what she'll say. Do you know who I am?
Yeah, dude. Here
we go. Here's the clip. This is the clip.
Now, her husband.
No, that's the trailer.
That's a trailer.
She's been.
Okay, keep talking. I'll find it. Give me a second.
I sent it via text. It's on
your phone.
Okay.
It's right when they kidnapped her and took off the tape and she started talking. Yeah. Dude,
I'm the governor of Michigan.
Who on earth? That's why when the story broke, I'm like, this shit makes no sense.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, if one of our side did something like that, we just kill the bitch.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, a murder plot.
Kill the bitch.
A murder plot. I might believe. Like we're
gonna kidnap Whitmer and take her to New Jersey.
I'm gonna kidnap this fucking crazy bitch and deal with her for 3 days. Like what?
I'm gonna make her talk. I'm gonna have to listen to her speak for 3 days straight.
Sir, you haven't thought this through.
You haven't thought this through.
No, so, yeah. That tells you how bad. Like Ray, Tucker Carlson brings it up all the time. Remember the fake news of the NASCAR driver? He found a garage handle.
Oh God, yeah.
So if you really want to see how fucked up the feds are and like no one's coming to save us, some fucking SJW piece of shit driver finds a garage handle, says it's a noose. The FBI the next day,
17 agents,
15 agents, 20 agents, and meanwhile, everything around us is burning. Like the world's burning. They're pulling old ladies out of cars. The world's burning.
Cities are burning.
They're beating moms for not wearing masks at soccer games.
Tasing
them. None of that's a problem. The problem.
That's what I'm saying, dog. You got to be Democrat, man.
Dude, fucking Christ.
Here we go.
Here we go. CJ found the clip. Go ahead, CJ. This is hilarious. It's Gretchen Whitmer right there. Yeah.
You fucking wrong person! My husband does business with the mafia. When they tell your entire family, everyone you ever knew will all get chainsaw enemas, and that's not all. Oh my God! I've been abducted by Huey and Dewey.
She keeps bitching.
Jesus Christ! It smells like a toilet in here.
Clean this place all up. We scrub down here for hours, down on our hands and knees. For God's sake.
My husband worships the ground I walk on. When he hears about this, he will explode.
There you go.
Well, yeah, that's the story. The story reeked of bullshit from the beginning, and then Then you find out the lawyers release. No, it's a dude. I've told you for the longest time. The feds are huge on entrapment. That's all they do. Like they run around like plotting things, and they try to find retarded people to come in and join.
We're so screwed. It's like for guys. I mean, literally, in 2016, all three of us had this talk. We said, "Well, he's going to buy us time," and we're back to the same narrative. He's going to buy us time. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's man. I'll tell you one thing you got to appreciate about the fucking liberals, man, is they do have balls. They have balls.
They do.
They're not even on the violence side, on the audacity. Think about the whole Russia hacked the election for 3 years. Like think about it all. Like
they knew it was bullshit, and they
of course the audacity. Yeah, that's what I mean. The audacity. They really do have like huge balls in regards to like the fact Adam Schiff could still show his face, and like the media, like it's only made possible because of the media cover. So there was a clip with Nancy Pelosi from like yesterday or 2 days ago with Wolf Blitzer. The dude and Blitzer asked her like a quasi tough question, like, "Aren't you blocked?" And she freaked out. Like they're so used to media cover. The media propaganda is the only thing that protects them. It's the reason they avoid like Tucker's show. They won't go on Tucker because Tucker will shut them.
Tucker will eat them alive.
Yeah, eat them alive. Yeah, he'll make them look so fucking bad. And so they're so used to media cover that the minute they get any sort of hostile pushback on media cover, they melt down. Like Nancy Pelosi looked like a short-circuiting robot. Like, how dare you, Wolf? You were running GOP propaganda. Like she was one Chardonnay away from calling Wolf Blitzer Putin yesterday. Like it was that.
Wow.
Dude, they're low IQ fucking idiots. They really are. Like you think AOC could handle like a legit tough debate or a tough interview? Fuck no, she would. No.
She's still talking about the emoluments clause, and I had to remind her that emoluments is law and not a mixed drink.
The issue is they do have audacity though. They're
willing to get dirty. They're willing to break the rules. They're willing to push the envelope. They're willing to organize. They're willing to take a day off. They're willing to put their money where their mouth is. Dude, you cannot tell me that liberals are not well funded and well organized. They sure as hell are. They sure as hell are. They are better funded and better organized than our side, and they're willing to get their hands bloody.
I mean, there was in Louisville, there was that famous video of the U-Haul truck. The minute they were waiting for the Breonna Taylor verdict, that U-Haul truck pulled up with all the
bingo,
all those supplies in the back. Of course, dude, they're organized and well funded. That's what makes the FBI and the racists
useless.
So no, they're not useless. Like they want us to ignore reality and buy. Like the FBI is almost running cover. You could argue the FBI might be a terrorist organization.
Dude, I am at the point where
they run cover for BLM and Antifa. And again, they're trying to convince us the real problem is the Klan. Like that's fucking.
Dude, I hear that. And I would personally put Christopher Wray through a wall.
Dude, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. In 43 years, I've never met a Nazi. Like I've never been invited to a Klan meeting. It's like, where are they? And I grew up in Chicago, not Mississippi, but like, where are all these people? I've never seen them. Like, do they exist?
Well, if you go on the highways and byways somewhere, and whatnot.
I've seen, being from Chicago, I've seen a lot of carjackings. I've never seen a Klan member.
Yes.
It's all bullshit, dude. It's a sales. It's all, again, liberal media covers their shit. And they're so entrenched in the bureaucracy of every single level of the feds that the feds play ball and they buy the lie too. There's a picture I saw of when the Floyd shit first started. There was a picture of a bunch of FBI agents taking a knee during the protests, like the first week it broke, and like half the FBI agents in the picture were like SJWs with like pink shoes on, and I'm like, Jesus Christ!
No, they had high heels, bro. They might as well be wearing high heels.
No, they were. It was literally like you could tell they were like SJW. I think the FBI, honestly, and I don't know this to be a fact. I think it's just a bunch of fucking nerd lawyers. at this point. Like they're not.
Dude, they're all a bunch of bitches. All the old school FBI guys, the old school CIA guys, those guys are churning in over their graves. You know who's in the FBI and the CIA now? Bunch of Yale and Harvard, MIT, Princeton pussies.
Yeah, I think
that's all it is, bro.
I think it's just a bunch of lawyers. Like
that's all it is.
Yeah,
it's lawyers.
They definitely.
Comey is a lawyer. That's how you got FBI Commissioner Director Comey.
Yeah, he's definitely not an operator. That's for
sure.
No,
Ray's a lawyer. These are all fuck. This is what kills me. This is why the trajectory of our country is fucked. Because 96% of our politicians and those that are in government functioning in bureaucracies like the FBI, like the Congress, like the Senate, and all, they're all lawyers. The lawyers.
It makes sense, dude. It really does make sense.
Guess what? 96% of the Chinese Communist Party. Guess what their makeup is?
I would guess soldiers or ex-military or something like that.
It's engineers, scientists, and military.
There you go.
And guess what Russia's is? Engineers, scientists, and military. Guess what India's is? Engineers, scientists, military.
It's bad. Again,
the West in the United States, same thing in the UK. All lawyers. All lawyers.
No, like I said, bro, no one's coming to save us. No one's. It's bad. My thesis has been it's an empire in decline or collapse, and the best we could hope for.
Done. We lost the culture. It's fucking over. We had a good run, guys. 240s. I mean, typically, around the 200-year mark, empires devolve into a tyrannical dictatorship or some sort of a despotic regime. We had a good run. It was good. It was fun.
Gus, you do know that if you get a mail order Russian bride and have a child with them, that you can get citizenship in Russia a lot easier now.
You might as well, Gus. It's easier for you to run your business from there.
And help B and I.
Hey, Gus, you're Greek Orthodox. You'll fit right in, bro.
Me and Snowden at the bar talking about how good things used to be in the 80s and 90s.
Knocking back a vodka, I might join you because the way things are going, I mean, shit, man. I mean, CJ and I, we got kids, right? I mean, dude, CJ, is there going to be any normal kids for our kids to marry when they're old enough in this country?
Oh, wow.
I think of that, dude.
Yeah.
I think of that.
Challenge.
They're
so socially disconnected right now.
Dude, I've met CJ's sons. I've met CJ's sons. Those are two alpha male boys. The system will say that those boys, they're toxic masculinity.
Yeah, well, they're neutering the boys is priority one for them.
Absolutely,
obviously,
absolutely.
Again, there's no simple solution. You know how I feel about the culture. The
culture's gone, bro.
It's
it's done.
The only thing that makes me optimistic, the only thing that makes me feel optimistic about the culture is that usually the youth. Right now, the establishment, the culture are one. Like being the establishment and the media and the teachers are telling you being an SJW is cool. And me personally, when I was a kid, I wanted to do the exact opposite of what they were telling me. So the counterculture might be our only saving grace. Where the kids of today, if you're 10 years old, 15 years old, you're looking at this fat fucking lesbo in front of you telling you how you should think, and you're like, bitch, fuck off. Like there might be a punk counterculture revolution to all this for Gen Z. I'm thinking maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The problem is what these people do, and you see it a lot, is they punish you if you don't adapt. Like that's what's really terrifying. I've said it before. When you see when Andy knows Twitter feed, like half these people being in Portland being arrested are like in education, K through 12 involved. Like that's fucking terrifying. And the fact that these fucking commies control your kid's future, like you will accept this ideology or we will fail you. We will drop you out. We will get rid of you. We'll vanish you on, in school. We'll punish your future. Dude, my brother, holy fuck, my middle brother caught one of his fucking, during a vid call with his daughter, caught one of the teachers start going down a rabbit hole a little bit. She was like, yeah, and we're definitely going to cover current events for sure. And my brother overheard it, jumped on the vid call. He's like, this is Sophia's father. What current events exactly? Like he fucking exploded on the bitch. This is like
Wow.
this is like 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
So you literally had, and this is in the Midwest, suburbs of Chicago.
Yeah.
You literally had some bitch that was gonna, and my niece is 12 years old, like a 6th grader. So you literally had some bitch, some fucking SJW teacher that wanted to talk to 12-year-olds about current events. It was like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Gotta be shitting me.
What current events? Like, yeah.
Well, they do. My son came home the other day and asked me, and he said he's just point blank, and we hadn't really discussed it. And I allow them for the most part to, like, form their own opinions. And if they get too far off track, everything, then I'll reel them in. But he's like, Dad, he's like, the only reason you're supporting Rainwater is because he supports CBD and cannabis. And so it's a great time to say, no, son. I think that the reason why I'm supporting him is because he does believe in limited government. He believes in the Constitution, that it needs to be followed. And I gave him numerous examples of that people feel differently. There's people who believe that government can solve these problems by a bigger government. In fact, it can happen. So yeah, they're definitely they do play an instrumental part of shaping the role, shaping the minds, and so there's a lot of work to do, but I'm still optimistic, guys. I think that that's why I'd rather just let whatever happens with this election cycle. Let's start building out platforms. Let's start building the future. And I think that there's more people that are inclined to that. I know, like, for example, the Rainwater campaign, we're disrupting the political establishment here in Indiana.
Yeah,
Ron Paul actually covered his campaign. He's like, hey, look, here's a state that's, making a difference. And Ron Paul put that on his Liberty Report. And the campaign had donations come in from all across the United States, like California, New York. People are like, go for it, man. So we can set that trend and disrupt the political establishment. It's just going to take a whole lot of work.
Dude, it's
a lot of work.
Well, no one should feel, and this is where I go. And V has a case of it today. A little bit of the downers.
Just a little bit,
which ultimately you're like me. The downers ultimately end up being rage down the road somewhere. Because they want you to feel. Here's what I know for a fact: the media, the politicians, they want you to feel despair. Like, you can't win. It's our way, like, they want you to feel like that. That's 100%. And that's why the polls are total bullshit, because they're like, you can't win. We got you. Like, all of it.
Biden has a 91% chance of winning, according to the polls.
Yeah, for sure. But don't never you're not alone. We can win. Not to beat a dead horse, but these people are fucking nerds. They're the kids I threw in the lockers in high school. They're fucking nerds. Any way you slice it. I mean, I've never seen a picture of them like, that's a fucking confident fucking Chad. They're all fucking cucks. Like, we can win. Their only advantage right now, honestly, is
the media.
Yeah, the media is huge, man. The media and IT. And at this point, we can put them all together. Like, the media, and when
Big
you
tech.
look at it's an information war. It really is. You guys have said it, and I agree with it. We've all agreed. The country is currently living in two realities.
It is.
Like, my sister-in-laws will send me screenshots of some of their, like, liberal suburban mothers, like, where, like, they don't blame the governor of Illinois at all for any of this. Like, they're like, he's protecting us. I'm like, you dumb bitch. Like,
you know what I said, you guys, that unpopular opinion I said, that what you got to do to save Western civilization, you could do it in 2 election cycles, but nobody has the balls to do it. Remember what that was?
Yeah. No, I can't remember, but
end women's suffrage. End women's suffrage, and you'll save Western civilization in 2 election cycles. I know it's unpopular. I know I'm going to get hate for it.
It's
but
not
literally. Take a step back and look. You will figure it out. You'll end the cucks and you'll end the Karens in one fell swoop.
It's not even about that. It's about, like I've said, it's once you've given a certain group power, it's hard to take that power away. And at the end of the day, man, listen, the Democrats' strategy is very simple. We're going to dice up as many single fucking victim groups as we can. We're going to give them a sales pitch, and we're going to try to aggregate those victim groups together. And I understand why people fought for it, right? So, because I've said it before, I'll say it again. If someone came up to me and is like, listen, Gus, we have an awesome new law. You're a victim, Gus. So starting tomorrow, since you're such a victim, you get to club Victoria's Secret models over the head and have sex with them on the sidewalk. I'd be like, wow, that's incredible. Where do I sign up for that fucking law? Where do I sign up for that law? Like, so if someone's selling you something and it gives you power, and you're like, yeah, that shit, that makes a lot of sense. I am oppressed. Like, so
I'm so oppressed.
I just wish they'd be. I wish all these feminists and beaver bumpers and fucking race pimps. I wish they'd be more honest about what it is. Like you're getting unearned power on a sales pitch. Like that's all you're getting. What you're really telling me is you're giving me a sales pitch. You want me to give you power, respect for nothing you've done. Just for again, I use that example of like Gus Greek men starting tomorrow get to do this because it's like I get it. But at least be honest about it though. Like have the balls to be honest. You're not being honest about it. You're dude, go fuck your mother. Like shut up. Dude, it's all con artist bullshit. It really is.
I'm moving to Finland. I'm done.
Maybe Thailand, bro. Maybe Thailand.
Well, Thailand for you. I don't think there's anything for me as a family man. CJ is gonna go out like he's gonna be John Connor in Terminator, and CJ's going out John Wick style. Gus is going to be from the movie Blow, and I'm gonna John Galt my way out of here.
I already told you guys the if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have been much more likely to say I'm leaving, like leaving the country a year ago. I guess I was lying to myself in not admitting what I've seen since the rioting and looting started. I can't walk away from that. Like, it's hard for me to let them win. I can't let them win. Not like that. Like something, I'm not built that way. Like
they already won, bro.
Maybe they did. Maybe it's inevitable. Maybe it's inevitable.
We have 4 more years. That's it.
It might be inevitable. That I can. But
they already won. They got big tech. They got social media. They ghettoized the internet. Look at Wall Street. Wall Street's turned from a bunch of wolves and sharks into a bunch of SJW cucks as well, who are just all about the greater social equality, justice bullshit. Right? They already got state. They control all the big cities. They control the media. Dude, it's only a matter of time. And look at these generation of idiots growing up in this country. They're all a bunch of stupid idiot kids who are going to soon. A bunch of stupid idiot kids also have the power to vote. They won this thing. It's time. You know what would have been the greatest morale booster if the actual justice was done and these idiots were arrested and exposed and their thing blasted all throughout. But the megaliths of CNN, MSLSD, CNBS, all that other crap, nobody's penetrating that veil. And it's a huge problem, man. It's a huge problem. And it's just like, I can't. Our kids are totally gone, dude. It's
bad.
We had a good run.
We
had a good run. I'm going back to old V. I'm going back to, pre-2016 V. I'm still predicting Dow 30,000 plus, probably 35,000. I'm still predicting high Bitcoin and gold prices, but at the same time, I'm going back to prepping. I'm going back to developing an exit strategy, offshoring. So I'm going to fire those engines back up. I'm going to dust those off the bookshelf. So anybody needs some help, you know who to call. That's what I'm going to be doing, guys.
I told you I recently applied for the FCC license too for FRS and GMRS radios too. So
why?
Yeah. Because
you really want this, bro. You want to go like trudging through the wilderness for what? For who?
No, it's not about trudging through the wilderness. It's about like I said, those are the federal rules. So if I end up relocating to a region of the country like a Wyoming or an Idaho or a Montana or shit, like if you buy 50 or 100 acres, it's good to have a walkie-talkie system.
Oh,
so
of course,
yeah, and I want to, again, I'm playing by the rules. The rules that are currently, dude, it's not that we're cowards. We're trying to be compliant. Like, so we play by the rules. And if there is a scenario, again, it just, if you're building out military units, every asset needs to have skills, and comms is a good skill. You want to have communications abilities and know the system. You also want to have some basic medical, like how to fucking apply a tourniquet, chest press, etc. Like that's just basic medical shit. so again, you said you're going full prepper. So am I. Like
I'm leaving on the next plane. I don't know when I'll be. Finland's looking good this time of year, bro. Finland? Everything about Finland?
I've never been. Can't speak to that. Can't speak. You do feel defeatist today, I could tell. And last night you did.
I'm done. Dude, that bar report did it in for me. Because at this point, the Q guys, you literally have to believe the only way this Q thing wins is if the military comes in and sweeps. That's the only way it wins.
Yeah, I don't know why. One thing, if I could go back and ask,
And I
I'd
don't think
say,
it's gonna happen.
why did they keep Chris Ray in there for so long? And again, why even harp on it? What it is, but like, whatever, man.
Who's doing the hiring at the White House? CJ,
I think
who's
they
doing
said
the
they
hiring?
flipped him. I think they said they flipped him, and he was ratting out everyone.
Oh yeah, he's right. He's singing like a canary. They're flipping
They spin
everybody.
Everything gets spun.
The
Everything.
only thing that's getting flipped here is our temperaments at this point.
He's been flipping for 3 years. Like nothing's happened.
Nothing's happened. He's been flipping.
It is what it is. Like I said, it's these are dark days. But you, V, go do legs today. So go squat and do some deadlifts. You'll feel better.
I'm going back to working out. I'm going back. That's it. It's going to be the new V. I'm going back to full on Bill Goldberg status. And I can't deal with this anymore.
It helps guys with yours and my temperament. It helps us keep us balanced. Because dude, when the pandemic first broke, it was pretty easy. Like I was able to stay excited and angry and sober and the rest of it. But then after a while, it even wears on us. Like your diet goes to shit. I start boozing every night. I was telling Will, I'm like, dude, there was a point in July when the rioting and looting was, at its peak, or June. I'm like, I was drinking 6 nights a week. Like it just because you're in disbelief at what's happening. You're like, is this real?
I mean, there's no logic, bro. I mean, there's no medical. The crazy thing is they're pushing out to the forefront the medical scientific reasons, but there's no medical or scientific reason. Number one, and there's only an economic bankster reason when you look at it from that viewpoint.
Bro,
so why are we doing this bullshit? I mean, 99.997 survival rate. Why are we doing this,
bro? Like I said, take a step back and think about it. Let me just say a quick sentence or 2 sentences. They are burning books and they are rounding up Jews in New York. Like, let that sink in. We're literally watching. We're watching liberal cities and circles. We're watching them deteriorate. They're straight up like Nazis. Like they are what they accuse everyone else of. Like they punch people on the streets. They have their brown shirts that force it. They're burning books. They're fucking rounding up Jews. Like they're fucking Nazis.
It's crazy, bro.
Well, I'm laughing because it's like, what the fuck? Like, I always joke about, am I taking crazy pills? Like no one else sees this shit. Like I don't. Like I said, balkanization, dude. Get away. I'm getting away from these people. I'm getting away from them. I can't.
So we balkanize that. Then we have a civil war. If there's going to be some sort of an armed conflict, then that's it. America's gone, bro.
I've told you
that,
I think conflict in 2020. I told you guys. I think it looks like Narcos season 1. I think that's what it would look like. It would be factions and cells on both sides.
We turn to a failed state.
That's what it would look like. That's what it would look like. It would. It's not. People have this false thing that a civil war would look like 1860. It wouldn't.
No, it's not going to.
No, God, no. It's assassinations. It's terrorism. It's assassinations. That's what a civil war would look like now. That's what it looks like in the modern age. So yeah, not good. Not good.
Fun show today, guys. A lot of fun.
Yeah, good stuff.
Great stuff, guys. And trust the plan. Where we go one, we go all.
Trust the plan. That's fucking epic, dude.
All right.
I'll talk to you guys
Cheers.
soon.
Cheers.
Bye bye.